The FCC rules that SpaceX Starlink is not alone. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today, we have a little bit of fireside. That smokiness of the lap sung. So good, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We're gonna be talking about the FCC, Starlink, and that now SpaceX is not being, let's say, singled out. What just transpired is that the FCC has now quadrupled the minimum download speed for any ISP to offer the internet as broadband. That is awesome. Now, if you remember, not that long ago, I did a video and I talked about the FCC singling out SpaceX Starlink. They said that, listen, we're not going to give you the subsidies that we promised you, $885 million. And the reason being is we don't think that you will be able to get to 100 megabits down by 20 megabits up. That is the requirement that we're forcing on you. So how they say that was just absolutely absurd in its face. How are you going to determine that SpaceX won't be able to get their Starlink program up to 100 by 20 by 2026 and make this decision in 2024? I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But at this point now, they're not just singling out SpaceX, Starlink, they are putting all ISPs on the exact same standard, quadrupling the download speed. So I was reading an article over on Engadget. I want to read some of that to you and then of course give you my commentary. And then at the end of this video down below, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this? This is really important for people that are in tribal communities, people like me that are in the rural area, not in the city. It's very important to us, all right? Because we've been getting the short end of the stick, the dirty end of the stick for a very, very long time, and things are changing. They're finally changing. So before I get into this article, I want to say that if you enjoy this content, even in the least, throw it a thumbs up. That would be very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are, thank you. I appreciate it. Click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. If YouTube does their job. Also, if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little button down here. You can give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. Also, check out my ebooks. They are free for you just being here. Go to JCristina.com/books. And if you want more Starlink content, I'll put a link over here. I put together a playlist of about 255 Starlink videos, helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to buy, what not to buy, and of course, the why behind it all. That's what this channel is all about, the why. And if you're looking for a VPN, look no further. The nice folks over there at PureVPN gave us a promo code, which is JCristina, or you can use the URL, JCristina.com/VPN, and get 15 additional % off at checkout. So now that all the housekeeping is done, let's get right into this article. It starts out by saying the FCC has raised the speeds required to describe internet service as broadband for the first time since 2015. Yeah, that's 9 years. 2015, my goodness. The agency's annual high-speed internet assessment concluded that 100 megabits down by 20 megabits up will be the new standard. Thank God. And that's still slow, but thank God, we're getting there. The news will likely irk the ISPs who would love to keep pointing out to 25 megabits down by 3 megabits up, the previous standard, and convincing people that they're getting high-speed broadband. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, especially when you look at the speeds in the United States to the speeds abroad. I'll get into that in just a second. The FCC's report broke down several areas where the country's online infrastructure falls short. The agency concluded that broadband isn't being deployed quickly enough to serve Americans, especially those in rural areas and those living on tribal lands. Quote, "The gaps in the development are not closing rapidly enough," the agency wrote in this report. More specifically, the agency said that fixed terrestrial broadband service, not including satellite, has yet to be deployed to around 24 million Americans, including about 28% of people in rural areas and over 23% of those living on tribal lands. On the mobile front, it added that about 9% of Americans, including 36% in rural areas and over 20% on tribal lands, lack adequate 5G cellular speeds of at least 35 megabits down by 3 megabits up. We always hear in the US that we get 5G. We do not get 5G. And if it is the worst 5G ever. Because I don't care, you can look at a third world country somewhere and you look at their 5G and it's faster than ours. I have family members in Europe. We talk to people on this show from all over the planet. And when you talk about 5G to them, they're getting a gigabit, all right? They're getting like 500, 800 megabits down, hundreds of megabits up, right? Not 3, 5, 20 if you're doing something amazing. And this is one of the things that bothers me. We believe the government and we believe that what they say is 100% factual. We believe that we are the absolute best. Everything that we do is the best in the world, and it's not the case. And if you actually do your research and see what's out there, you'll understand that what they say is complete bullshit. All right? We have not seen 5G in this country yet. And the 5G that we currently have is subpar at best in comparison to the rest of the world. Trust me, ask around. It's the truth. The same thing holds true with our infrastructure when it comes to the internet. It's the best. It is not the best. It's not even close to being the best, all right? It is slow. The latency is high, all right? The infrastructure is not good. Trust me, I worked in a NOC. I worked in a CO, in a central office, in a network operations center. I've worked on racks next to Bell Atlantic's rack. Trust me. It is not that great, okay? There's problems, a lot of problems. And one of the problems here is with the FCC never mandating these speeds, saying that 25 megabits by 3 megabits is okay. It was never okay back then, even in 2015. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back into this article. The report set a long-term goal of broadband speeds of 1 gigabit down by 500 megabits up. Wow. To give stakeholders a collective goal towards which to strive. Yes, strive there. Maybe in another 9 years, you're going to equal what we see in Europe today. Awesome. Those numbers may hint to where the commission would like to move the goalposts in the next time it updates them. The last time it updated was in 2015, right? So that's 9 years. So what are we going to get, an update like right around 2033? So by 2023, we'll be at the same speeds as Europe. I think that's awesome. While they're at like 2 gigabits plus. My God. In 2015, when the commission set its 25 megabits by 3 megabits requirement, the FCC chair, Jessica Rosenworcel, commented, quote, "Frankly, it should be 100 megabits. Well, now 9 years later, the FCC is requiring what should have been required in 2015. But she got it. The chair, Jessica there, she understood it in 2015. It should have been 100, not 25. What the hell is that? The article finalizes with the FCC can't police ISPs to force them to boost their speeds, but this type of move may be the best card that they can play. What it can do is prevent them from marketing their service as broadband internet if they do not meet these thresholds. It remains to be seen whether the companies providing the infrastructure play ball or opt for other marketing buzzwords to sell customers on glacial and outdated internet speeds. I love it. Glacial. That is the term. Glacial speeds. Just as a point of reference, for the last 20 plus years at my location, we've got either AT&T DSL, complete shit, and AT&T Uverse. That's what we had at my location. We didn't have cable, nothing else. Okay. So I am located in a rural area. Now, I'm not on the top of a mountain or sitting way out hundreds of miles from a city. I'm only about maybe 5-10 miles from a city, but that doesn't matter. Okay. Once again, DSL or Uverse. My maximum speed that I was ever able to get here from AT&T Uverse was 15 megabits down by 1.5 megabits up. 1.5 megabits up. That's in 2023, 2024. Actually, as of today, if I do a speed test, 1.75 megabits up. That's a travesty. That should be illegal. In 2024, 1.5 megabits up, 15 megabits down. And check this out. That is with 2 lines bonded together to get those speeds. So if I only had one U-verse line coming to this location, I would have 0.7 megabits up, 0.8 megabits up, 0.8, and like 7.5 megabits down. That's what I would have in 2024. So these ISPs have been getting away with just murder for so long, and they've been taking subsidies from the government for so long to bridge this digital divide. They've been given millions and millions of dollars to bridge the digital divide between the haves and the have-nots. I talk about it all the time. The haves of high speed and the have-nots that don't have it, right? In rural communities, and as they're pointing out here, tribal areas, it has been a massive problem. Well, Elon Musk fixed the problem. That's why I talk about it all the time, because how happy I am with it, all right? Not because I'm getting paid for it, because I'm not. I am happy with it. I've been using it for 29 months, and then I share my experience with you, and hopefully I can help you if you're a new Starlink user or if you are a potential new Starlink user. That's why I created these 255 videos, right? To help you guys out. So the bottom line here is we are now moving. We are quadrupling that speed for everyone. It's no longer just simply focused on SpaceX, all right? So that's great. Kudos to the FCC. The problem that I'm still having with the FCC is they are not giving Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlink the $885 million subsidy that they promised them. Elon Musk has actually done something. He has bridged the digital divide for about 2.6 million people. Think about it. At my location now with Starlink, instead of getting that 15 megabits down and 1.5 megabits up, I'm getting Starlink speeds, 200, 250 plus megabits down. Upload speeds of 10 megabits up to about 20, 25 megabits up. The FCC said, hey, we don't think you're going to be able to get to that standard of 20 megabits up. So we're not going to give you the $885 million. It's 2 years out. How can you speculate this? Well, as I've talked about in many videos, this is a partisan decision. The FCC is run by 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans. Now, if there's a Republican in office, that flip-flops, and the FCC would be run by 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats. What happens is these agencies vote on party lines. They don't give a shit about you or me. We know that. So I digress. I think that this is really, really great news in comparison to before when it was 25 megabits down by 3 megabits up, which is just insanity, glacial. Now at least we're getting a minimum of 100 by 20. And like the chairwoman said in 2015, it should have already been back then 100 megabits, not 25. It was ridiculous back then on its face. It's ridiculous today. They moved it up a little bit, but remember, they're always so far behind the 8 ball. Once again, my family members overseas are getting quadruple the speeds that is the minimum now here. The minimum is now 100 megabits down. They're getting gigabit. Literally on the top of a mountain in Sicily, in Germany, in Essen, they're getting gigabit everywhere. They're even getting gigabit on their 5G, true 5G. When they have 6G over there in Europe, we're going to have 5G here, maybe in another 5 years plus. Who knows, right? This is what happens. And we are sold the bill of goods saying that we are the absolute best. Everything here is perfect, and it is far from it. Do your research. Don't listen to me, some guy on the YouTubes. Anyways, I want to know from you, what do you think? Are you in a rural community? Have you been getting shit service forever? Are you getting better service? Are you with Elon now? Is that helping you out? Down below, let's have this discussion. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, throw the video a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Also, share it with your community, your friends, family, colleagues, whatever. Share it on Reddit, on Facebook, on wherever you traverse the internet. That would be great. Let's grow this channel. Finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like, and if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. Don't forget my merch, my tees, all that kind of stuff. Pick something up, that would be great. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, fast connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.